Hello and welcome back to Let's Chill, your official, unofficial Minnesota Wind Chill, Minnesota Ultimate podcast. I'm Jeff,
I'm Jay.
And I'm Kane.
and with us today we have Ben Feldman, head coach of the Wind Chill. Ben, how's it going?
I'm doing all right, guys. Appreciate the invite and looking forward to being on the chat here.
Yeah, we're super excited to have you. We're gonna kick it off with what we do is like a stall seven. It's just a little trivia game we have going on. Um, so I've got a stall seven question for you, Ben. So you have 7 seconds basically to answer the question here. Your question is, which of your players bakes a mean loaf of bread?
Oh God. Um, I want to say someone who probably cooks a lot. If I had to bet on it, like who would make a good loaf of bread who cooks a lot? Maybe God, I should know this off the top of my head. Trying to think who cooks. Oh, maybe it's Colin Berry. I feel like he's a pretty crafty guy. I feel like he probably can whip up a good meal or something. So I'll say Colin.
All right. As far as I know, maybe Colin does. The answer I was looking for was Abe Coffin. Um,
Is
he
Abe
he's a baker.
he's a baker, is he?
Yeah,
I
that's what
need
he's
to
told
I need to
us.
probably I need to probably freshen up on the previous if I'd paid attention to more of these and in-depth content, I would know that about my players, but I'm clearly behind the times here.
Well, we'll have a windshield bake sale, and then you'll know everyone's skills.
I
So
mean, we better start selling that. We could use some additional revenue, all right? Get the Abe selling his homemade bread at game day. We'll mark it
there you
up.
go.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
All right. Well, I got another stall seven question. This goes out to anybody. Um, in 2022, the Wind Chill won a lot of games. What was the largest score lead they had in any win?
Oh man. Was it the largest score? And I don't know that we got to 20, but obviously the Indy game, we had a couple of one versus Indy at home, but I'm trying to think if one of our Detroit games got out of hand. So you're
15
looking for the
points.
number? You're looking for the number, is that right?
Yeah.
Is it like the largest lead? Is it 15 or 16?
It's not.
What is
Largest
it?
lead was 19
Okay,
on the 31st of July. 928 versus Detroit.
got it. All right.
So
Close.
Didn't quite get to 20 this year. I know we've done it
Yeah.
a couple times, or this past year.
Yeah.
yeah.
Need better
Wow.
coaching. Better coaching to hit that number.
Always.
That was the coach's fault, yeah.
Exactly.
We'll get an offensive coordinator this year, maybe.
Yeah. No, for
Get
sure.
Patch that wise or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, we got a lot to talk about today, especially with the 2023 season just a couple weeks away here. Um, Ben, let's start with a pretty generic question. It's a big year ahead. It's the 10th year of the Wind Chill. Championship weekend is being hosted in Minnesota this year. The Central Division looks completely different than how it did at the end of last year. So, how are you feeling? How are you preparing for the season? How's the team feeling? And with 2 weeks away, like what are you guys doing to prepare?
Yeah. I mean, I think everyone's really excited this time of the preseason. I think people are getting antsy. They're ready to get out on the field and get some real, full speed reps and whatnot. So, the weather up here has been a little bit challenging. We've had our indoor season and the guys have been training on small field stuff all winter, for quite a bit of time. So we've been together, but there's definitely some excitement to actually start putting it together. It's a long season. Like we had some off weekends this month because starting this weekend, which, we got a preseason scrimmage against Radicals down in Winona, which is a first time we've ever done anything like that. So that's exciting for the group. We got about 22 guys going down for that scrimmage on Saturday. And then, but I think people are ready to start playing. So hopefully it's a lot of training time. With 40 degrees and rain, we can't play on grass fields yet. So we're getting our turf time in as we can. But no, there's a lot of excitement. So you're right. There's a lot of personnel changes, across the division, and it does feel a little bit wide open. And we're excited about our group. We got a lot of young additional talent coming in, a few key additions, some veterans coming back, and we're just excited to get the group together and start competing. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And obviously, you got a little bit of additional pressure with hosting championship weekend. We've obviously made that division championship game for 2 seasons straight, and hoping hoping this will be the one that we crack. So third time's a charm, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. And kind of going off of that, like you mentioned, we have kind of a big roster change this year. We lost a lot of key pieces. We added some old veterans that have played on the wind chill in the past, took a few years off, and quite a few rookie signings as well. So I think kind of my question is, are the eyes on championship weekend? Is that the goal, or are we using this year as a rebuild year?
Yeah, there's no doubt we're trying to get punch our ticket to championship weekend. There's no question there. I think, well, we had some turnover most certainly. I think we also picked up a few individuals that I think plug in pretty well there. And honestly, I think our offensive group will look with the personnel we're going to put together on offense. It'll be a different approach to offense, but could be different in a good way. Maybe a little bit more versatile approach. We had a ton of talent on that line last year. Obviously, a lot of throws, a lot of consistency. Andrew and Beef and the players we had. But things will look a little bit different this year. Might be a little bit more explosive with our approach. Maybe a little bit more aggressive than we've typically seen the last couple of years. But I think it'll be a good change. So we're excited. Like I said, some of our young talent, some of the players we have on board. While we lost a few key pieces, I think there's people ready to step up in those roles. And I think everyone's feeling really good about our roster and some of the guys you guys haven't seen yet. We're pretty excited about as well. So there's a little bit of that going on too.
Yeah, definitely noticed it's going to be a very interesting roster. What has been kind of your primary point of focus as you've kind of rebuilt already in this offseason? I know the answer is everything. You've worked on everything, but what has been something that's like you need to improve on to get to championship weekend this year?
Yeah, I think defensively we're trying to have a few more tools in our toolbox and how we approach defense. We've never had a problem generating turnovers. Last year, obviously, we're extremely effective at creating those breaks as well. I think we're obviously shifting some talent over to our offensive group, and we have some new guys on the team and some new pieces ready to step up and help us retain some of that strength. But yeah, I think outside of just some more consistency in the offensive group, we know the top teams in the league have offensive lines that are extremely efficient and convert. And, I think so there's a lot of focus on, we were pretty happy with our approach to defense last year. We know we're going to generate blocks. We're going to get our breaks. I think it's a matter of putting together the right group of players to be successful, consistent on the offensive group. And I think that's where we know we have the most opportunity. So we got some great talent there. Those guys are going to build a lot of chemistry as we go through the season, and it's not going to be perfect out of the gates, but we got a really good group there, and we're pretty excited about the pieces we're placing together on that side of the disc. So yeah, I would say we know that's where we need to make some strides. If we keep everything else consistent, I think we'll be in a really good place.
Nice. You mentioned other teams and all the other teams' offense. Is there any team in particular that you spent like extra time planning for, or any time like extra watching film against, or anything like that? Or is that
we'll have film here pretty quick. I'd say we're pretty focused on ourselves right now. Obviously, we'll have some footage. So the scrimmage this weekend won't be streamed or anything like that, unfortunately. But we'll walk away with a little bit of footage there to just review ourselves more than anything. We don't see Madison until this summer, but not playing week one is a benefit because we'll thankfully get to see our opponent play a pretty challenging game down in Atlanta. The team we're going to open the season against, obviously down in Indy. So that'll be a slight benefit, but at the same time, they'll have a game under their belt, right? Which is certainly a benefit as well, a really competitive game. So that's going to be a challenging game for us. Indy's, returning a lot of their players, adding back Travis Carpenter, obviously. And yeah, it's going to be a really good group. So we know that's going to be a great game and a great challenge for us. And, I think we'll start spending a lot of time on our own practice footage this year. We've done a lot more filming, reviewing our own stuff from practices, end zone sets, and various defensive sets. Yeah, that'll quickly change to reviewing game footage, reviewing our opponents, looking at matchups, and once we have some more content, updated content to work with. So one of the benefits of obviously being in the AUDL versus coaching any other ultimate is you have the benefit of a whole lot of footage, and so we're excited to use that as a resource this year, and leadership team and our players as well.
Is there anything so like you've played against all the Central Division teams, multiple times. What about this game against Colorado that we have, in the middle of summer? how do you prepare for that, or is that not even really on your radar yet until you get closer?
Yeah, I mean, we took that on. I think as a team, we know if we want to be the best form of ourselves. The more challenging a schedule we can have, the better. At the end of the day, our season probably won't come down to that one game. We're excited for that. Obviously, we haven't spent a ton of time focusing on Colorado at all. We know winning that game would certainly be a bonus, and the team's super excited to head out there to play out there and play that. That's a very talented group of players. But I think we know if we take care of business in the division, we're going to be where we want to be at the end of the season, come the playoffs, and that's a part of our process. Hopefully, to be in the best form of ourselves come the end of the season. So heading out to L2 playing Denver is we took a tough matchup there for sure, but I think it'll make us better, and hopefully we can come out of there with a really highly contested game and maybe steal a win from Colorado. So
That'd be awesome to see. Winchell winning interdivisionally as well. But so we have done our predictions of how we think the season's going to go. How many wins the Winchell are going to take, how many losses. Of course, you think they're going to go, what is it, 13-0 or 12-0? What do you think this season's going to go? How do you honestly believe the season's going to end up for you guys?
Yeah, I think playing on the road is tough. I think we got there's some talented teams. I think I wouldn't be surprised if a 7 or 8 win team is making the playoffs. 3 teams advance, so I think there will be quite a bit of parity. I would be as much as I wish that we're going to run the table. I know it's going to be a challenge, right? Throughout the season, and it's about building. So I don't know. I think it'll probably still take 10 wins to win the division, 9 or 10 wins to win the division. I think we can win every game that we play. We got to fight everything. There's a lot of teams that could say that if they play their A game, got a good chance of winning a game in this division. So, but yeah, that's my prediction. We're going to go 12-0, but if we don't, someone's going to have to win 10 games to win the division. I think 9 or 10. So.
For sure, yeah. So I kind of want to bring it back to the roster. Like I said, we got it released about a week and a half ago now, and there's a lot of new faces. I just released an article on our website talking about 5 key players that we're going to want to keep an eye on this year. Do you have any players that you want to have the fans give a special look out for? Any players that we want to keep an eye on this year? They can be returning players or rookies. Anyone you want to shout out?
Yeah. Oh, let's see here. I'll talk about obviously some fresh faces that you maybe didn't see last year. So Jason Cheetah isn't completely fresh, but he played with us a while back, veteran presence, and we're excited to have him involved. So he'll be there to kick off the season in Indy. And first time he played in a game with us back in 2019. Actually, I think he played at TCO Stadium against Indy in his last Winchell game where we lost in this miserable conditions. So we're excited to have him back and hopefully hit the reset button there. But he's a key addition for this year, a veteran presence, and we're excited to have him involved. So people has AUDL experience and looking forward to having him back on the field with us. Trying to think, we added, kind of in pairing with that, some folks, other players from Dragon Thrust, like Sam Berglund is another addition for us that with the loss of some of the players that we had is somebody who can command the disc, probably be playing on our defensive line. So he's a big presence and has big throws. So I'm excited to see him be able to leverage that skill set on the AUDL field. And let's see here. I was looking through the rest of the roster. Another one is Noah Hansen. So he's a Carleton grad. And I think he's ready to step up in a big way this season, have a big impact on the team. So I think you'll be hearing his name quite a bit, hopefully this season as we go through. And I think we're excited about how he looks in practice and preseason. And he played in a game or 2 last year, but I think he's ready to take the next step. So I'll give you 3 names there. There's a lot more, but we got a whole slew of practice players that you might see debut at some point during the season. Their faces aren't on our website yet, but might be debuting some additional talent here at some point in the season. So don't be surprised if you see some new faces pop up as we go through.
For sure.
Awesome. Well, we want to shout out Sam, Jason, and Noah. If you guys are listening to this pod, we'd love to have you on someday. So definitely reach out. We'll hit you up too.
There you go.
Jay, do you have a question?
I was going to
Um,
mention that, we already had Noah on, so he can get back on. So
get back on.
There you go.
Um, so definitely want to hype up the fan experience this year. Again, I think Ultimate is reaching new audiences every day, and just seeing how electric Seafoam Stadium got last year. What would you tell fans, or what can fans look forward to this year in terms of game day experience and just coming out to Seafoam? Um, yeah, what can we look forward to as from the fan experience?
Yeah. We got some things in the works. I can tell you, like, we got some new food trucks and options that we're debuting. We announced got a partnership with a new coffee shop in the area that they're going to be coming out to all the games this year. So we're excited to, with this, adding more relationships and partnerships, some new food trucks we're going to be debuting, which we'll be talking a little bit more about. We got a pretty exciting announcement, hopefully in the next week here, that we're debuting about a new partnership that will impact game day and the general experience. So sneak peek, that's something might be coming there, but definitely doubling down and investing more into creating the ultimate, experience at Seafoam Stadium. We think we got a good thing going on. We've done fan surveys. We're trying some different stuff with our beer garden this year and expanding that space to be a little bit bigger. So yeah, just a lot of fun things going on. Some new collaborations and partnerships with giveaways. Chill Boys is another partner this year. We're going to be shooting out some underwear out of the t-shirt, or I should call the undie gun. So we got an undie gun now. We'll be shooting out some underwear out of our previously known as t-shirt cannon, and we may or may not have a refreshed look to our mascot Chili as well coming. So we got some enhancements that are on the way, and I'm looking forward. I'm hoping our weather in NMA on the 20th, and we're excited to work with the strike, obviously, on the doubleheader. Hopefully we're dealing with some good weather, and yeah, it's hopefully going to be an awesome day of Ultimate. So really excited to get the fans back out to Seafoam and go bigger and better than we did last year. So that's the ultimate goal.
Absolutely. And I can tell you from the fans' perspective, we are just as stoked as you guys to get out there, have the experience. I'm still waiting on Chill Boys to get back to us. We would love to have some wind chilled inspired underwear. And if you guys need any models, we're more than willing.
You
Look at
guys
that.
might be able to get some endorsement deals if you guys want to. I'm sure they'll hook you up, and if you guys want to sport some Chill Boys on game day and go big,
That's what I'm saying.
I'm sure you could get an endorsement deal with them. So
Yeah,
I'll try to put in a good word and have them respond to the pod.
absolutely. I would love to do an ad read on this thing. Um, One thing that I like to do before the season, one thing that we kind of had a conversation about off pod, was looking forward to what that starting seven lineup is going to be on the home opener. Can you tell us kind of what it's going to be, or is that a little bit under wraps?
Yeah, I mean, I think we run a little bit more of a rotation with our offensive group, so some of that's still going to kind of shake out. We don't, unfortunately, with these guys having real lives and some other conflicts, and real jobs and weddings and some other things, family stuff from time to time. We'll definitely have a little bit of a rotation, so we'll probably have a group of 9 or 10 that you're going to see regularly out there, with some people crossing over and playing a little bit more, like we have in the past. But I think the AUDL may have gotten a little bit of an insight. They did a tweet about a potential starting 7-0. So there's some previously defensive faces at like Colin Berry and Abe that maybe saw a little bit more on defense that might be getting an opportunity on offense this year. So other than that, I think it'd be probably what you would expect, or similar face to what you see in the past. But we're going to try a bunch of different things, ready to adapt and adjust. And we're still going to remain aggressive with crossing guys over to get breaks. So it's not going to be just a fixed 7. We're going to build in some additional support there, so we can be bringing some guys over from time to time, and hopefully keep the defense on the field.
awesome. Yeah, you love to see the defense on the field. So what went through your decision-making process to get people like Colin Berry and Abe Coffin as more offensively aligned players this year? Because I'm all for it. Like, I love the offense, but
Yeah, I mean, obviously we had some change in some departures that forced that a little bit. There's some individuals that I think maybe last year that were like clear fits for the offensive group just moved. There's still players we have on our team that we just wouldn't be as effective for us defensively, because they're terrific offensive players, but maybe their defensive skill set isn't what we're looking for necessarily. So I feel with the composition of players we have now, we do have a little bit more versatility to move guys back and forth. but more so just the need, right? Do something a little bit different. We want to be a little more versatile. We're cycling of players, guys who can come back, move downfield with a little bit more fluidity. So that's the approach we're going to try to bring this year. And like I said, with some key departures, inevitably we're going to bring some other people over, and everyone wants to play offense, right? So it's not a tough sell. Once we started seeing some chemistry in the preseason, getting some people together, made some decisions, and yeah, we're excited for it. So it'll be a work in progress, obviously, and might have iterations of what that looks like. But we're going to start trying it out this weekend. We got a pretty much full rotation of our offensive group available, which is exciting. So we'll be down in Winona getting some reps, and excited to work with the Radicals on that and hopefully help each other kick the season off a little bit faster than we otherwise would with early season buys. So
Yeah, that'll be really interesting to see how that goes for you guys. I'm super excited to hear the results of that. But yeah, anything else, you guys? Ben, this has been great. Just picking your brain here. Early season thoughts and strategies, and really appreciate your time tonight.
Yeah, this is awesome. I appreciate all the content that you guys do. I try to tune in and watch as much as possible, and I know you've got a bunch of the guys on here, so yeah, we're excited for it, and yeah, we appreciate your guys' support. So glad I was able to come on here amidst my dad other job duties, team duties. It's a busy
Yep.
time of year, but when I got the message, I knew I had to jump on and have a conversation. So I'm hopping off to a team strategy call here at 9 o'clock. So it's diapers, bedtime. I got a bowl of pasta here next to me. I haven't eaten yet, and then we're going right into some film session stuff tonight with the defensive group. So but I'm glad we were able to chat, and yeah, thanks for everything you guys do for the chill and coverage of the strike. All that is great. So I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you for being
definitely.
on. We appreciate it.
All right, and yeah, we just want just to shout out to our listeners, our viewers. Give the strike, the wind chill a follow. Give us a follow on Instagram and social media. We'll be covering the teams all season long, starting as early as this weekend as the strike kick off their season. The wind chill in just a couple weeks here. And this episode is presented by the R1P1 network. They're doing some great graphics and thumbnails and stuff for us. So want to give them a shout out too. And Ben, thanks for staying on, and everyone, don't forget to stay chilly.